So Rohit, you qualified UGC NET in code 55 for JRF and assistant
Exactly.
professor both. So congratulations again.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Pooja.
So Rohit, can you share something about yourself?
Absolutely. So first of all, I live in a small town of Jain near Indore, Madhya Pradesh, if you must have heard about it. I hail from a normally middle class family, and like all middle class families, we have normal dreams. So initially, when I passed 12th standard, my elder brother is already a CS, and he has been working for one of the big fours. So my parents thought it was wise to send me down the same hole. Again, as I was doing that, I realized that this is not something I really want to do in my life. I tried my hand in banking, and again, I realized that this is not something I want to do. I've been leading a, you can say, a toxic lifestyle, playing PlayStation all day, sitting at home, doing nothing at all, like all of us do at some point of times. And then soon, a friend of mine, a family friend of mine, asked me to go teach in a school nearby, students of 11th and 12th standards, just because I wasn't doing anything. So I thought that it was a fair idea. I could try that. As I did that, I realized that okay, this is something I am good at, and the student response was fair too. I realized that this is something I could do for the rest of my life. So yes, here I am.
So can you share your experience? Like how did you start your preparation? Your preparation. What was your preparation strategy? And is there any difficulty you faced during that preparation time?
Pooja, first of all, I had no idea. I had zero idea. I had been teaching for 3 years in a school and 2 years in a college.
Okay.
I had a fair idea that there's something called UGC NET and there's something called UGC NET JRF. It's a qualification. I knew about it. I've been told that it is almost impossible, very difficult. It's an all India level competitive exam. And me being a very normal student, very average student, I always belonged into the 75%. I never thought that this is exactly going to be something that I would be able to do. Again, I thought since I'm looking forward to make my career in this, I should go ahead and try it. I was lost. Initially, I'll be very honest, I was lost. I was looking through so many applications, I was looking through so many firms that were offering courses on UGC NET. Then again, I stumbled across Human Peritus. And I must say that a lot of my problems were solved there and then. I realized that okay, this is something I really want to do, and these guys, they seem pretty serious about it. And a lot of firms out there, they have this problem. They chase you. They chase you like they're trying to make up for something. They're trying to compensate for something. But that is not the problem I had with Human Peritus. They were all the way through very professional with me that Rohit, this is something we're offering. If you're willing, then we can get into the business transaction. And apart from that, we are not going to chase you. And that is something I really like. That is something that really hooked me, that they are sure in what they are offering. That is why they're not trying to sell it to me too hard. So that is something I like. So I think that's how I figured out that this is something I really have to do.
So Rohit, I want to ask you about like there are two papers, paper one and paper two, right? So what's your opinion? Like how much time we should divide between paper one and paper two?
Yeah, through this exam, I have actually known myself for in a better way than I could have imagined. It helped me discover myself. It helped me become a very disciplined person. It helped me change in ways I could not imagine. So first of all, I feel when you come to paper two, you really need to cover everything. I feel this is one thing I have understood from giving a competitive exams. You cannot you We have been taught in a linear manner. We have been taught from our first class to the 12th standard in a linear manner, that if you do these things, there will be an examination evaluation at the end, and you will pass through it. There's a linear course. You have to follow a line. But I feel when you come to competitive exams, it is not going to be a line. It is going to be concentric circles, one after another. And you need to have a core area. I see you can relate to it. It's more like it's a concentric circle. We will be allowed, we will be given so many opportunities to study so many things, that do this, you will get these many marks, do this, you will get these many marks. But the problem is, if you do not have a central road to walk on, and you would be deviating all along, you are never going to reach anywhere. Only when you know a true path, only when you have a core path, that no matter what you do, you're going to have to walk on this particular path. Only then you can afford deviations. Apart from that, so yeah, coming to the point, there are concentric circles. Once your core areas, the core principles, for example, planning, organizing, these things are firm, only then you can understand the new developments in planning, new types of plan. Only then you would be able to understand that once you understand the true concepts of leadership, or the 5 basic theories of leadership, only then you would be able to understand what other theorists or other philosophers are bringing in. So when it comes to paper 2, you're going to have to make your core area very strong. It will have to, no matter what you do, you're going to have to put in a lot of work, because I feel that is one place you can actually secure a lot of marks. In paper 1, I feel I was terrified of paper 1, because when it came to paper 2, I was like, you know what, this is my cup of tea, and if they ask me a challenging question, I'll be very happy, like, you know what, bring it on. But when it came to paper 1, I was terrified, because first of all, my quantitative aptitude wasn't the best in the world. It was mediocre, I'll be honest with you. Then I have realized this one thing: the scope of paper 1, the questions they ask are vague. They are as vague as it comes. I mean, I'm being honest. There is no core area. You just have to make sure that you know the basics and pray to God. After that, you really need to prepare. I mean, people who do not care about paper 1, they really need to understand this little thing, that if you do not understand paper 1, if you do not form fair concepts of paper 1, you're not going to make it. The first time I gave, this was my third attempt of UGC NET, and the same mistake I made the first 2 times is, first of all, I was giving my exam in the wrong code. I was giving in code management, code 70. All right. So I was almost leaving 5 units in paper 2. Almost leaving 5 units in paper 2, because they were never my area of expertise. But when I gave it when I wrote the exam in code 55, I realized that, okay, this is something I can do. So coming back to your point, I think paper 2 needs, first of all, you have to pick paper 2, and you have to make sure that you're through with it. You're completely through with it. You know every last detail. And then you pick up paper 1. And you make sure that you bring paper 1 until the point where you're sure you're getting 35, at least 35. You need to aim 35, nothing less than 35. Unless if you're giving mock test, you're getting less than 35, you should be very scared. You need to score 35. I scored 32. But I believe that only because I was able to secure 75 out of 100 and 64 here, I was able to compensate a little bit.
Yeah.
I was able to reach till 75. Only then I was able to compensate those the difference of 32 to 35. Had it not been for those 75 numbers, I would have suffered.
So, any time management tips for students, please?
Initially, as I was in my college, I was teaching in college. I used to take some time out whenever there used to be a free lecture. I used to sit in the library and I used to study at that point of time. I used to come back home and again I used to study. First of all, I think every person has to do this one particular thing, is that you're going to have to maintain a diary. Make a log diary, because otherwise you would be lost. It's a big journey and you need a map for it. You need to know where you started from. You need to track your progress to the point where you realize that if you're making progress or not. Otherwise, you're running in circles and you won't even know. So first of all, if you're planning for JRF, you need attention. I left my college on 1st March 2021 only because, we know the whole problems that came due to the COVID lockdown, the postponement of exam. And it is something that takes toll on you. You make a schedule. You make a plan that this is the time I am going to take and now I am going to give the exam. But then the exam gets postponed and all your plan, all your exoskeleton is completely ruined, and now you have to form it all over again. And the frustration in itself speaks a lot. So I feel you need to make a log diary. And if you're planning JRF, you need to leave everything. You need to leave your college, whatever that is you're doing, and focus onto it. It depends on the area of competition too. I mean, if you're giving JRF in law, I think you're going to have to be very serious about it. If you're practicing, if you're going for management, you have to understand, if there's a lot of competition, you're going to have to stand out, because it is, after all, it is a cutoff.
Any tips for future aspirants?
Okay, so I have made some talking points, and I think I'll take just a little bit of your time. But these are the points that I have realized in 15 months of my preparation. There were times I actually happened to have a mother. My mother is not very well; she's sick, so I have to take care of my mother. And I also have a dog who is also very sick, so I have to take care of both of them. And then there were lockdowns and everything, so it took a toll. Or it was also a mental toll. There were so many things, there were so many problems, as they are in all our lives. So I realized these few points in 15 months of my preparation that I think are going to help everyone that is out there
Yeah.
aiming for this exam. First of all, don't do it simply because you don't have anything better to do. A lot of people go through this. People try to get into UGC NET and JRF simply because they feel कि कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं तो ये कर लेते हैं. I feel that's completely wrong. You need to be committed to this particular goal. Second of all, make up your mind and associate certain value to the reward. If you're not going to associate value to your result, you would not be committed to it. There would be no genuine connection. You need to feel that this is what will happen if I get through this exam. Do you really want to be there? Do I really want that? If yes, absolutely go for it. Third, as I have told you, competitive exams, they're in concentric circles. You need to have a core area prepared. Only then you can afford a question that is from outside, question that is from completely different new area. You don't need to worry about that, because once your core area is very fine, very refined, no matter how difficult a question is or how out of the course a question is, you're going to be sure that, see, my concentric circle, my core area is as big as it gets. So if I don't get it, no one else is going to get it, and I'm pretty sure about it. This is the confidence that speaks in the exam. Fourth would be reading everything. You need to see, it's a big course. Paper 2 is going to be humongous. I had labor laws. I had to remember dates. I had to remember very small details. I had to remember name of the authors. So many things. Sections. Exactly. Those sections, man. Those sections. So you're going to have to do that. So in order to do that, you need to reread something. Only then you will be able to have a proper concrete core area. Because when you reread something, there are neural networks. It is an actual psychological process. Neural networks establish in your brain. You have a map of everything, as Sherlock Holmes says, mind palace. That's exactly how you're going to have to perceive that. You have to reread to the point where you're sure that this page per there's this particular thing written on this particular page, and no matter what happens, I am just going to close my eyes and flip the pages, and I'll be on that. I know I'll be on that. Then I think make a diary. I've told you about making a diary and tracking the progress. Change your ways of revision. You're going to have to revise the entire course at least 30 to 40 times. Then you're going to have to see, this is what I did. I revised the entire course 30 to 40 times, and my revision ways changed. Sometimes I read, sometimes I wrote down, sometimes I enunciated. Whatever helped me. 30-40 times of good revision. Then you need to solve the mock test. Then you need to assess everything that was there in the mock test, everything that you didn't get, everything that was new. I formed it into 3 categories. Number 1, things that were completely new. Number 2, things that need revision. Number 3, things that do not have so much value. So these 3 things help me. Now, once you have all the assessments, then you're going to have to reread the assessments along with your core area, so that you integrate it all. And once you have integrated it all, it becomes a huge core area. Now your core area has increased. Again, after that, I think this is one thing that that moved me every time I was low. Something difficult, but something that you like, is going to be very easy in comparison with something that you don't like, but it is easy. I'll repeat again. Something which is easy, but you don't like it, is going to be twice as hard as something that is difficult, but you like it. This is something that helped me. And the last thing that I said to myself in the starting and again till the last point is prepare to the point where you know to get through even before the exam. You know it in your bones that I am getting. Exactly. The last thing that I said, that something that helped me, that prepare to the point where you know you're going to get through. You don't need an exam to qualify you. You know it in your head that you're going to get through. I know this. I'm getting through this exam. So I think that's pretty much all the talking points. Everything is covered.
Any other thing you want to share with us?
I think that's pretty much all, Pooja. My future goals as of now are getting into the FPM program, the PhD program in the IIMs.
Okay.
So
great.
due to the late results, the deadlines are over, pretty much over. So I would have to wait till next year. This year I will be by myself trying to get myself in a better position to secure an IIM admission. So let's see where it goes.
So all the very best for your future, Rohit. And thank you so much for giving your precious time to us. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you so much.